All right, Shalom. We're the brothers from the Great Millstone Orlando camp. We want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakwadash.
Kakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. This is real quick Isaiah 62 and 6. And it reads, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. All right, so we want to go into a lesson through the Spirit, open form, just rolling in the Spirit to bring out some articles and prophecy through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You got your script, Rakaya?
Yeah, this is Mark chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 32. It says, "But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. And through the Spirit, the brothers were able to come together tonight and, do this late night watch through the Spirit and probably how about Shemel Rashad, because through the Spirit, that's what we're supposed to be doing. All right, even so now more than ever, we're supposed to be watching the prophecies, all right, the things that's going on around the earth, all right, that foretell the second coming of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. All right, and there's a lot going on in the earth right now. If you didn't know, all right, there's sedition, there's pestilences, there's wars and rumors of wars. All right, there's great evils multiplying upon the earth right now that the Lord said would happen for a second return, as we read in Matthew the 24th chapter. So through the Spirit, we're set up as watchmen, all right, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, to watch for these things and to give report unto the nation of Israel. If I could get one more scripture, if y'all Akim don't mind. Uh,
You got it.
Khan, go ahead, Up.
this is Ezekiel chapter 3, and let me get verse 17. It says, Son of man, I've made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. All right. And through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, we've been commissioned, all right, to warn the wicked to turn from their wicked ways, lest we should die, we should perish their same fate. If we don't warn the wicked, it's on us. All right. If we don't warn the people, it's on us because we have the knowledge. All right. We know better, and knowing better, we're supposed to do better. We're supposed to perform the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's what we're set up to do. All right. We're set up to watch. All right. To warn, and it's a lot going on, as I stated before, man. As you can see throughout this week, man, you have different men waxing worse and worse. All right. You have different perverse doctrines coming out here in these latter days, set up to draw out the 2/3. All right. Everything that's happening in the earth, essentially, is a sifting agent that the Lord is using to separate the righteous from the wicked. Right now, what's being made is a separation within the house of Israel. All right. And it's being made clear who the Lord is dealing with and who he's not, who the true watchmen are and who the true watchmen aren't. And through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, starting from the elders apostles of Great Millstone on down, all right, we've been given that true watch. We've been sounding the trumpet, all right, giving a sure sound, all right, letting you know everything that's getting ready to happen according to the scriptures, all right, and how we're going to get out of these situations, which is through the Spirit, which is through Yahweh Bashem Shai. But that's all I had to say. I can, all right, if y'all got anything.
Khan, real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 8. And it reads, Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye, when Yahweh Bashim Shai shall bring again Zion. All right, and that's a beautiful scripture because it goes into the watchmen seeing eye to eye. All right, right now what you're seeing is division. All right, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, what you're going to see is more division. All right. The scriptures talk about evil men waxing worse and worse. All right. But yet, in the midst of all of these things, the prophecies of Yahweh Shemel Shah will still come to pass in the midst of all of this. All right. And what we're witnessing is a lot of things happening at one time. All right, you're witnessing inside of the circumcision a lot of division as these men show that really they're losing their oil. All right, but in the midst of that, you also have Yahweh Shemiel Shah's prophecies coming to pass. All right, you have wars and rumors of wars. All right, you have different civil unrest, earthquakes in diverse places. And all of these things, for those who believe in truth and in sincerity, are a sign that salvation is nearer than we believe. All right. So the way that we look at these prophecies should be different from the rest of the world. The world should look at these prophecies and be devastated and expect to perish. All right. The scriptures say the expectation of the wicked is to perish. But for the righteous, this is the time that we've been, Lord willing, we're part of that number. This is the time that we've been waiting for. All right. And this is the time that the Lord foretold of. All right. You had a precept, Isaiah?
No, y'all got it.
All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 3. And I'm going to jump down to verse 17. And it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. All right, and the prophecies go hand in hand with that. All right, as we see the doors of mercy closing, how do we know the doors of mercy are closing? Through the prophecies that are coming to pass. All right, we're getting closer and closer to that time where the Lord is about to show what judgment really looks like. All right, he's going to begin at his house, all right, the house of Yasharallah. All right. So we're gonna go into a few of these articles that Rakaya found. All right, and one of them, which one you want to start off with, Rakaya?
We can hit the first one from commodingnews.com.
All right,
Or we can hit that one as well, since you got it up.
all right, let's go into it.
All right, so this is an article from SputnikNews.com. All right, and it's entitled Al Qaeda and Daesh K will try to use Afghan refugee flow to make it to the EU and US, security experts say. All right, and through the spirit, this can be a setup to set up the persecution, all right, against the Lord's saints. All right, because essentially what is happening is a mirroring of what happened back during the time of Rome and Nero. All right. Nero set Rome on fire and blamed it on the Jews. All right. America's getting ready to do the same thing. They're getting ready to create the chaos. All right. Like the old saying goes, order op chaos. They're getting ready to create the chaos and then create and offer up the solution. All right. And the chaos they're getting ready to create possibly is through this refugee flow happening with these Afghanistanis, you know, and essentially how that can play out on us is that we can be roped in with the activities of these different terrorists, because essentially our word is treasonous, to America because we're chanting down America, Babylon the Great. We're coming against this great kingdom, like the prophets that came before us, pursuant to Jeremiah 28. So reading on down, it says about 200 of the 30,000 Afghan refugees processed at the Ramstein Air Base in Germany were marked red and are now under further background checks, according to General Mark Milley, chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. What is the probability of terrorists sneaking into Europe and the U.S. under the guise of refugees? All right, it says, speaking to Fox News on the 5th of September, General Mark Milley explained that if the evacuee has some sort of derogatory information, it will pop up as red or yellow, adding that he was satisfied with the vetting process. At least 50,000 Afghan refugees are expected to be admitted into the U.S., according to Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Afghans have already been processed through security vetting and arrived in the U.S. to begin the process of resettlement. My host told Fox News that about 20% of those who have either arrived are either American citizens or permanent residents. The rest are people who have received or are going to receive special immigrant visa. All right. And this could possibly backfire because you best believe that you have some informants within this refugee camp. All right. And those informants, all right, could possibly cause some type of terroristic act, not saying too much on that, not to get the video strike down, but these refugees could perform some type of terroristic act that could then play out and fall down, trickle down into the Lord's elect. All right, that's why it says in Revelation, the second chapter. Let me get this real quick.
Yeah, if I could say this as well, um, what you have happening through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah is the elites are using the what they call a Hegelian dialectic, which means pressure from above, pressure from below. All right, they use these different type of events to create fear. All right, and through that, they're going to have license. All right, to persecute anyone, even if you speak up against this kingdom. All right, and that's why it says it's going to make a man an offender for a word. All right. So through the spirit, while this looks like it's far from us, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So we do understand that all of these things are going to be used. Esau, being a cunning hunter, he's going to use all of these things to implement legislation to ultimately stop freedom of speech. All right. You see that happening already with how they censor YouTube. All right. How they how they're censoring social media in general. All right, this is only the beginning of um, the persecution. All right, the scriptures talk about that.
All right.
You got it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it. Quoted it. This is Isaiah 29 verse 21. It says that make a man in the street for the word and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate and turn aside the just for a thing of not. All right, and that's what they're setting up. All right, they're setting up that snare. All right, for those who approve in the gate, and this is one of the ways. Let me get this as well.
Hey, read that verse again and start at the verse above it.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 29, and excuse me, in verse 20, it says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of not."
And this is how they're going to make a snare for those who rebuke at the gate. All right. Right now, it just looks like a crackdown on possible extremists coming through these Afghan refugees. But eventually, all of these things combined with what's going on on social media, the banning and the termination of channels, all of these different things are really ultimately going to result in the persecution of those that fear Yahweh Shem Al Shai. All right, what you're going to find out is that those are the biggest threat to this society. All right, contrary to popular belief, everything else is controlled opposition in some way, shape, form, or fashion. All right, even the so-called terrorists, if you will. All right, ultimately they're financed by some of these major governments. So in essence, they're all controlled opposition. But the only one that's truly free through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai are the servants of the Heavenly Father. All right, and that's why the devil's going to come down with great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right.
You got it, Doc.
And I had that on deck too. I had that Revelation 2 and 10 on deck too. This is, Revelation 2 and verse 10. It reads, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." All right, and this is just a part of, the proving process. The devil's getting ready to cast some brethren into prison, as a result of prophecy. But even if that's the case, all right, the Lord said, fear not. Why? Because the Lord is going to uplift that standard. All right. Just like who was that? Peter. Let me see. I think that was Peter and John in the book of Acts, the 5th chapter. All right, when they were cast into prison, they counted it joy. All right, for Yahweh Shai's sake. Let me see. This is Acts chapter 5 and verse uh,
It's Acts 12 and 5.
12 and 5. Gotcha. This is Acts chapter 12 and verse 5. Reads, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did, and he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. When they were past the first and second ward, they came unto the iron gate that led into the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed through and passed on through the street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and have delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. All right, and this is the same exact testimony that's getting ready to happen to the Lord's elect. All right, and as we see, Peter, when he was put in prison, all right, he was sleeping. All right, he wasn't worried, he wasn't fearful. All right, he had a healthy expectation of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the same like mindset that we must have here in these latter days as well. All right, even though some of us may be cast into prison, all right, some of us may be cast into some FEMA camps and even beheaded. All right, through all these things, the scriptures say, be thou courageous, pursuant to Joshua, the 1st chapter. All right, be thou courageous and not fearful. Why? Because the Lord will never put on you something that you can't handle. All right.
And that's the comforter, man. That's that comfort. That's that comfort, man.
God, and we've been comforted openly through these scriptures, man. All right, that's why the
Right.
Lord gave us this truth. All right, the brother like to bring it out all the time. Romans 15 and 4. These scriptures were written for our learning. All right, that we through patience and hope. Let me see. I don't want to quote it wrong.
That's that comfort, man. That comfort. Peter was able to sleep because of that comfort, man. He already knew what time it was. It was the Lord that put him there. So he just was waiting patiently, man. That's that comfort, man. Hey, that's what, hey, what is that? Proverbs 3? It's one in Proverbs 3 and Proverbs 4, man. That, hey, your sleep shall be sweet.
Right.
Hey, you shall walk and not stumble, and you shall run and not fall. That's that comfort, man. You got it.
This is see. Romans chapter 15, verse 4. It says, For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right, and these scriptures have restored hope unto the Lord's elect. All right, here it is. Whereas we were in the world, we had no hope. We had no expectation of the future. We had no expectation of deliverance or salvation. But being returned unto this word, the Lord has given us comfort. All right, and a lively hope. That we
Right,
might be saved from these calamities coming upon the earth.
right. I got two precepts real quick. This is Proverbs 3.
Hold up, real quick. This is the Greek word for surety in Acts 12, and the outline biblical usage says truly, of a truth, in reality, most certainly. Strong's definition says truly, indeed, surely, of a surety. And that's what the Lord has given us, that comfort, that faith has given us a surety. Lord willing, we're part of that number, that no matter what situation we're in, all right, the Lord is going to be with us. All right, and that's the kind of expectation we have to maintain, the kind of confidence we have to maintain in Yahweh Shai, no matter what circumstance. You got it out.
This is Proverbs 3:21. It reads, "My son, let not them depart from thy eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so shall they be life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou layest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yet thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet." This is our Proverbs 4:10. "Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble." So, hey, either way, man, your sleep gonna be sweet. Hey, cause you walking in right paths, man. I just want to make that point.
Hey, and even right now, our sleep is sweet, man. You know, we're not worried about these calamities that's on the earth right now. You know, a lot of people are
Right,
bugging due to this whole pandemic. All right, but we our sleep is sweet, man. All right, we know what's up. A lot of people are bugging out because they're losing their jobs. You know, they're losing a source of income and whatnot. All right, but we know what the Lord has in store for us, man. All right, so our
right,
sleep is sweet, man. We're not losing no sleep over what's going on in the earth because these are prophecies. All right, the Lord forewarned us of these things. You know, it's a different thing if we didn't know what was happening and we didn't know how we were going to get out of these situations. You know, but the Lord has given us the answers to the questions that the majority of the world is asking right now. You know, how? All right, how are we going to get out of this? What is bringing this type of calamity? Why? All right. The people don't know these things, you know, and for the fear of the unknown, they're bugging out. But us through the spirit and
hmm
power of Yahweh Shai, we've been given comfort through the scriptures to know. All right. That's why it says in Isaiah 33:6. Let me get this real quick. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is his treasure." All right. And the Lord has bestowed upon us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. That it may be the strength of our salvation. All right. That it may lead us to, or that it may cause us to endure to the end. What will we be of that number? You
right.
know?
And Proverbs 29:18 it say, where there is no vision, the people perish, man. And 2/3 of Jake don't have no vision. They don't have no vision. So that's why they run around asking the questions that they asking. Why, how, and because. Hey, the why and how, we got the because. They asking why and how. They don't have no vision, man.
That vision is speaking about prophecy, like it says in Habakkuk the second chapter. All right.
Right.
A lot of the people, they're led by these different Christianity pastors. All right, they're led by these different wayward Israelite group leaders. All right, that really don't make the vision clear for them. You know, they obscure the vision. You know, they make the vision even cloudier. You know, which is why the people are leading such vain lives, is because they aren't privy to the vision. They aren't privy to what the Lord has in store for the earth. All right, the Lord, contrary to popular belief, is not coming to save America. He's not coming to bless America. That's a farce. All right, nowhere in the scriptures is that true. All right, America is known as Babylon the Great according to the scriptures. All right, which is destined for destruction. All right, nowhere in the scriptures does the Lord have for America to be saved. All right, nowhere in the scriptures does it have for the Lord to save those who live a wanton and wicked life. All right, that's
Yeah.
that's that's false.
Good. And then Habakkuk said, hey, the Lord said he made it plain upon tables, man, that they may run who readeth it. He made it plain. But 2/3, as it go to in Matthew 16:4, it say a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, but there shall no sign be given but the sign of the prophet Jonas, meaning the messengers, man. So them that's running, like also Jeremiah said in Jeremiah 5, man, right? I will go about the city, I will run to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, man. It's plain to the whole elect, but 2/3 just they don't have no vision, man.
Come on, let me Just to back you up. This is Proverbs 15 and 19. It says, "The way of the slothful man is as an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain." All right, and the
Beautiful.
ways of the Lord have been made plain unto those who sincerely seek after Him. It's
Right.
plain what the Lord has in store. It's plain who the Lord is dealing with. It's plain what the doctrine is. All right, it's plain who has the 100% truth. These things are plain. All right, the Lord has given us the spirit of discernment ultimately. To discern these things.
That's
What the brother
beautiful.
is talking about.
That's beautiful. Read that again, huh?
This is Proverbs 15 and verse 19. It says, "The way of the slothful man is as an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain."
That's cold. That's cold. You got it, Nahya. That's cold, man. Hey, they don't got 2/3 don't got no way, man. And we are not trying to be a part of that, man. That's cold, man.
I got one more. It's Ecclesiastes or Sirach 39 and 24. It says, "As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are
Beautiful.
the stumbling blocks unto the wicked." All
Come
right.
on.
And this word has been made a stumbling block unto, the majority of the nation of Israel. All right. They can't perceive that Yahushua did miracles. They can't perceive that the names of the Lord matter. They can't perceive that Jacob's trouble is real. They can't perceive that the RFID microchip is the mark of the MOTB.
Right.
These things have been made stumbling blocks unto the majority of our nation, which is what ultimately what King David said in Psalms. All
Psalm
right, look,
69. Right. Right. That which had been for that welfare have been made a snare, man, and a trap for him, man. Yeah, because
don't
this truth is our welfare benefits, man. Our heads of protection. You got it up.
yeah, no, you got something, bro.
Yeah, Khan. So this is Titus 1 and 15. And it says, "Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even
Mhm.
their mind and conscience is defiled." All right, and that's what you're gonna find out at the end of this. Basically, through the Spirit, the gift of faith hasn't been given to all Israelites, and that's why no matter what you say to certain Israelites, it won't matter. All right, that's why
Right.
you have Israelites who are led away by these silly doctrines. Even though to the pure it's obvious that it's wrong, ultimately the faith is the discerner. All right, unto the pure all things are pure, and that pureness, if you will, is given by inspiration of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, there are remnants of our people that are predestined to understand this truth and be sealed by it. The rest, the majority of our nation, um, as the scriptures say in Second Esdras, the multitude that will perish that was born in vain. Because ultimately the Lord is dividing or separating the remnant, the ones he's going to decide to keep and have mercy from the ones of our nation who said, "Let his blood be upon us and our children." And that's the divide, that's the separation. All right. It's
Done.
not going to be separated between white and black, Savag. All right. It's separated between the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. And everybody else, really. The elder in South Carolina said it best. We're about to see great bias in these last days. The Lord is going to show great mercy to a few souls, and everybody else is going to be recipients of judgment, even 2/3 of the Lord's own people.
This is
You got it
um
out.
this is Zechariah chapter 7 and verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away their shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. It said, yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord Yahweh of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shai. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, So they cried, and I would not hear, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. So they
Hey,
pulling away their ears. They say they stopping their ears and pulling away the shoulder, man. As it saying, what was that? Isaiah. Matter of fact, let me get this. This is Isaiah 30 and 11. And it reads, it say, get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, call the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. So 2/3 of Jake don't want to hear this truth, man. Why? Because they can't hear the song, man. This song of deliverance, the song of Moses, that the Lord told Moses in Deuteronomy 31, teach this song to the children of Israel. Only 1/3 can hear this song, man. And that's why it says this in Matthew chapter 11 and 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling to their fellows. What's the markets? To the highways and hedges, man. When we downtown Babylon, the great Orlando, man. It says it's a but whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. So as they walk by the camp, they see the sign, and they keep on walking, man. Like it said in Isaiah 30 and 20, right? On the right hand and on the left, but they can't hear it, man. Why? Because and when you read in John 10 and 27, Yahweh said, my sheep hear my voice and I know them, and they follow me. So this song, 2/3, this is not a song that they don't like to dance to, man. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, didn't get them this tune, man. They don't know what this tune is. It's a dull tune to them.
I got a scripture to back you up, huh? This is
Shalom, GMS Hawaii. Shalom,
this is
Yahweh
Luke
Shema
chapter.
Shah Barakatah.
Shalom, This is
Shalom, GMS South
Luke chapter
Carolina. Everybody
7,
on the
verse.
comment board. Shalom, Salak, y'all.
You good. Shalom. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 31. It says, and the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace and calling one to another and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept. All right. And through the Spirit, that's what the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are doing across the four corners of the globe. All right. We're piping unto to the nation of Israel. All right. We're mourning unto the nation of Israel. But the majority of them do not weep, do not hear it. You know, and
Right.
as it stands, like brothers always like to say, this is a private meeting in public. You know, this is for the very select few. You know, this is a very high frequency being played. This song is a very high frequency being played in the earth, and only a few can pick up that frequency. You know, and through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we've been commissioned to preach this word unto those men. You know, those great men.
Hey, and then when what is that? Malachi 3, what it say? They don't want to walk mournfully before the Lord, man. So that's why they ain't weeping, man. They want to live in mirth, man. Right? They are not. They said they don't want to mourn, man. Why should we mourn before the Lord? Or like, what is? Let me read it. This is Malachi chapter 3 and 13. It reads, "Your words have been stout against me," saith the Lord Yahweh. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve power. And what profit is it? And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord Yahweh of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. This guy tell my, I wish we can be proud. No, we don't, man. That's what got us on the bottom in the first place, man. Being proud, man.
Right.
Joshua nice and fat and kick, man. What his name is? Savad, whatever your name is, man. We ain't trying to be proud, man. That's what got us on the bottom. That's why we on the bottom now, man. It said now we call the proud happy, which is who 2/3 of Israel. Yeah, they that work wickedness are set up. Yeah, they that tempt power are even delivered, man. So that's why they can't hear it, man. It's not meant for them to get it, man. These are the same 2/3 that was in the wilderness talking about why we out here in the wilderness with no food, man. These are the same 2/3 that the moment the Red Sea was closed down, it was shut down, they was complaining, man. These same wicked niggas, man.
Hey, and part of the reason why Jake doesn't want to repent is because, as this kingdom falls, as things get worse for Esau Edom, things are progressively better for Jake. Jake,
Right,
you see a lot of Jakes slotted good. Jakes get more housing. They're able to buy more properties. They're able to get better jobs and so on and so forth as this kingdom is falling. That's why the majority of
right.
our people don't want to repent, because they don't see no benefit to it. They're starting to win. So why lose when you just starting to win? You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't see the point in serving the Lord because they're winning, since Esau is falling. But to speak
Yeah,
to the point
that's
that you was making to,
good.
oh, Slack, you got, hey, but to speak to that point you was making about the brother on the comment board, this is Proverbs 15:33. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility." All right, for the very same reason, all right, the conditions that you see our people in right now is because of pride. All right, it's because we didn't have any humility. All right, like the brother said, we wax fat and we kick. We got too prideful to the point and where we kicked against the Lord, man. And
Right.
this is our punishment for that. We're not supposed to be proud. What do you have to be proud about in this state that we're in right now? We're at the bottom of the bottom. If you really look at where we were and where we're at right now, we've fallen so far. It's nothing to be proud about. All right, the scriptures say, "Why is earth and ashes proud, man?" We are
Mm-hmm.
but
Beautiful.
earthly men. We have nothing to be proud about. We're in our lowest estate right now, and right now the Lord is trying to teach us to have honor, humility before the honor.
God. This is Job 12:16. With him is strength and wisdom, that the seed and the deceived are his, man. So these 2/3 of Jake, man, the Lord, they say they are delivered, they are set up, man. To do what? To wax in their proudness, man. The pride, hey, they got that's what the Lord told us, man, in Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, man. Cause the end of that is gonna be pride, being proud, man, for no reason, man. Like we see him for a correction, man. And
God,
we see 2/3 just can't be corrected, man. So, as the brother in the hall you always say, there's nothing left for these Jakes but death, man. The Lord say he stricken us, but we didn't grieve. He consumed us, but we refused to return, man. So what's left? He said we full of wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, man. So there's nothing left for Jake but death, man. You got it out.
Hey, real quick, Job 12, I'm gonna jump down to verse 17. It says, "He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and
Right,
maketh the judges fools.
right.
He
Which was
looseth the
us, man.
bond, he looseth the bond of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth
Mm-hmm.
princes away spoiled, and
Mm-hmm.
overthroweth the mighty." And what you have to understand is at one point we were those mighty. And what happened was we got proud. All right. The same way Esau is proud because he's been in power. At one point, our nation was in pride. All right. The scriptures say
Right.
Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. And what did the Lord do? He put us in dire straits. So much so, and the brother said it beautifully, we fell so far that the condition that our people see now, they look at as progress, not
Huh.
really thinking about where we actually came from. We were actually a sovereign nation of people. We weren't subject to any other nation of people. We were sovereign. And our people have fell so far that they've accepted jobs and apartments as compensation as living when
Right.
this is not living.
Hey, I gotta read verse 20. Job 12:20, it reads, he removed away the speech of the trusty, which is what? The wisdom, man. The wisdom not to understand. They say he removed away the speech of the trusty and taketh away the understanding of the age. What's the understanding of the age? Our elders at the gates, man. That's why I say in Jeremiah, what is it? Jeremiah 14:2. the gates thereof languish. It tell you that in Lamentations 2, and also in Lamentations 5, that the elders have ceased from the gates, man. So it say he removed away the speech of the trusted, meaning our wisdom and knowledge, which was our, in the sight of other nations, and taketh away the understanding of the age. It say he poureth contempt upon princes and weakeneth the strength of the mighty. And that's why we're on the bottom right now, man. Because when you go to let me read this. Lamentations chapter 2 and 1. It say, how hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up all the habitation of Jacob, and have not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
I got one to land back off
Hey,
of that. This is Isaiah.
that's a proud statement to me. I wish we could be proud. Nah, man, that's off, man. That's off, man.
Right.
You got it up.
This is Isaiah chapter 1. The point is in verse 23. All right, I'm gonna just get the point. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 21. How is the faithful city becoming harlot? It was full of
Right.
judgment. Righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Thy silver is the
Murder.
dross, thy wine mixed with water. Princes
Mhm.
are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither does the cause of the widow come unto him. All right, and just like the brother read, all right, our princes were perverted, man. All right, and they judge not the cause of the fatherless, which is why we're in this
Hey,
present state.
man, that's cold. Hey, cause it say our wine
The
is
gates
mixed with
language.
water, man. In the midst of all these, in the midst of this truth, you got all these philosophers, man. You got TD Snakes and Theflo Dollar, Geo Jennison, Al Sharpton, and Jesse Jackass, and Jake is following the philosophy of the world because this truth has been mixed with water, man. But the Lord is making that separation now. Like they say oil and water don't mix. Hey, the truth and lies don't mix, man. The truth and the world's philosophy don't mix. As it says, 2 Corinthians 10, man. Hey, this truth is breaking down all strongholds. But Salak, y'all. Salak.
Hey, you all good?
Hey,
You all good?
real quick, if I could say this, a lot of that, a lot of this wine being mixed with water is these doctrines amongst the circumcision. All right, you
Con.
got guys who are
True.
saying that
Con.
no miracles have happened,
Right.
and what you're
Right.
doing to the flock is you're abating the courage of the flock. Because if
Con.
no miracles happen, how are we getting out of this situation?
That's what I was, bro. Con.
Yeah, you got
Con.
it.
Hey, Salakia. When I was watching Eldom Zapa, he was going in on this guy from One Body in Dallas. And I had a son on the comment board. I was like, this guy was saying Yahweh ain't do no miracles, but then he said that only 1/3 gonna get saved. Well, who they gonna get saved from? If Yahweh ain't do no miracles, then who come to save the 1/3? Man, that's double-minded, man. So you saying you believe Yahweh gonna come save the 1/3, but he didn't do no miracles? Come on, man. That means you really don't believe in Yahweh, man. That's
Hey, and
crazy.
so like it. Hey, and which what the brother said earlier is true, man. What a lot of these dudes is preaching is low oil doctrine. You know, they're running
Right.
out of oil and they searching for little things to come out with so that to fuel them up, man. You know,
Right.
and if I could get this real quick in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 19 and verse 1, it says, a laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contempteth small things shall fall little by little. All right, and what we
Con.
see is a bunch of
Con.
laboring men given to drunkenness, man. All right, they drunken with these different wayward devilish doctrines. All right, and they contempting small things, man. They nitpicking small things. All right, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, even big things at that too, which is why they falling little by little, waxing worse and worse, man, in the spirit.
Real. So my Herod was an Israelite. This guy bugged out, man.
And all you got to do is read to debunk that, man. All you got to do, that's why the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved. You know, it
Right,
has to be some level of discernment that you have to have to 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 point out and weed out these different devilish doctrines, man. It's no reason that you should believe that Herod was an Israelite. There's no reason for that. If you read on in the chapter, like the elder Menachezabba did in his video, you'll see that Herod did that to destroy Yahweh Shai, man. He was
right.
using Baal. It's simple.
If it wasn't, why would he try to kill all the kids that was what 3
To,
years and younger, 2 years
yeah,
and younger? Come on,
God.
man. Come on, man. Like that shit's it's crazy, man. But anyway, it was another
Hey, but it
article you
should
you
be
had.
so. It's supposed to be. The
Right,
scriptures
it's
talk
supposed to
about
be.
the
Right,
deceived and the deceiver belong to Yahweh Shem Shai.
right,
Because
right.
a lot of
Oh,
Israelites got to wake up just to get a judgment. You know, a lot of Israelites got to find out who
facts.
they are
Facts.
just to find out that they were the ones that said, "Let His blood be upon us and our children." And what you're seeing is a lot of rebellious doctrines, a lot of doctrines that just an open rebellion. You know, they don't suffer the children of Israel to come into the kingdom by believing in the power of the Heavenly Father, believing that the Lord is capable of anything. Instead, they abate the courage. You got them attacking the throne of King David. You got them saying ain't no miracles. All of these things are not helping the flock. It's not meat convenient for the flock. The
Right.
scriptures talk about confirming the feeble knees, roughly paraphrasing. How are you doing that with these doctrines?
Hey, so I got two precepts, right? I want to read this Second Chronicles 18. I got a precept. This is Second Chronicles 18 and 18. Again, he said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. I saw the Lord Yahweh sitting upon his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing on the right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who will entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then there came out a spirit, which is the third angel, and stood before the Lord Yahweh and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord Yahweh said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil against thee. Right? So it said the Lord have put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, right? And they go to two-thirds of Israel and heathens. Here's the precept, Ezekiel 14 and 9. It reads, and if the prophet be deceived, when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord Yahweh, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. So, yeah, y'all got it.
And if I could say this through the spirit, ultimately it's the Lord. You know, ultimately the
Right,
Lord is dividing up everybody through the spirit. All right, whether it be those who understand and have understanding or those who are being deceived. All right, ultimately nothing is out of the realm or power or control of the Heavenly Father. All right, the scriptures say, unto the pure, all things are pure. All right, but unto those who are not pure, all right, is nothing pure. All right, everything, even their conscience is undefiled.
right,
And that's what you
right.
have happening in these last days. Everything is being exposed. Lord willing, we're part of that number that receives that salvation. All right, because it's ultimately all from the Lord. All right, Jeremiah had said at one point, the Lord was stronger than him and had deceived him at one point. And that's what
Right.
Jeremiah thought, because ultimately it's all in the control of the Lord. What you believe and what you don't believe is in the power of Yahweh Shema Shah.
Gone.
Hey, I have one
Real.
more for that, and unless y'all want to move on.
Now bring it out.
All right, this is Second Edges chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. And this is what's getting ready to happen. All right, as a result of prophecy, it says, "And salt water shall be found in the sweet." All right, and that's what we find with these different doctrines. All right, we find a lot of salt water being mixed in with this sweet doctrine. All right,
Yep. Hey, that's that wine mixed with water. Yep. You got it.
it says, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into the secret chamber. All right, and pretty soon the
Mm,
Lord is going to close the doors of mercy, just like He closed the doors on the ark of Noah. All right,
mm,
and wit is going to withdraw itself into the secret chamber of the elect. All right, that's why the Lord has us preparing our vessels now, cleansing out our vessels now, so that we might be able to store wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in our bodies for the times that are at hand. You know, it says, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Hey, and now, if you wouldn't mind getting that word incontinency, Baba Kasha,
mm.
from
That's
the
cool.
etymology, I'm gonna read it
I got a
again.
precept too. Go direct with that. You got it.
You got it, you got it.
This is Amos 5:13. It say, therefore the prudent shall keep silent in that time, for it is an evil time.
Mm.
Therefore the prudent shall keep silent in that time, for it is an evil time.
Hey,
Hey,
why?
so we're gonna hide itself, man.
Mm, that's cold. Hey,
Yeah, man. You got it though.
hey, because it says what, the five virgins, the parable of the five virgins.
Yep,
All right,
yep,
those who stored up their oil and those who didn't. You know, and in that time, if you don't got the oil, it's not up to us to give you of ours, man. You know, Lord, when will
mm,
that? It's not up to us to give you of the oil. Ultimately, it's up to what you've been doing, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that you've been building in this time of liberty. You know, in this time of grace. That's what it's going to come down to. All right, the faith that you've been building in this time of liberty and grace.
done.
But this is the definition of incontinency from the etymology online. It says the inability to Salaki, I can't read it. To restrain sexual desire, sexual immorality. It says later to keep in a religious rule. Salaki, let me get it on my phone real quick. It's a little small on the screen.
Hold up, I can read it. So it says, incontinence. It says late 14th century. It says inability to restrain sexual desire, sexual immorality, or it says later inability to keep to a religious rule. From Old French incontinence, lack of abstinence, unchastity, or directly from Latin incontinentia, greediness, incontinence, inability to contain, abstract from non-incontinence, incontinent, immoderate, intemperate,
A
inability to restrain bodily functions.
Mm,
A, it says inability to abstain, right?
Con.
Abstain from what? The spirits that the Lord has within these different people, man. All right, it says in
mhm,
Sirach 39 and 28 that there be spirits created for vengeance. All right, there's a lot of spirits on this earth right now that are created for the sore purpose of harsh, gruesome judgment. And the only reason why they're not playing out those judgments yet is because the Lord still has his prophets out in highways and byways. You know, but once wisdom
mhm.
hides itself, it's a green light for judgment. And incontinency is going to multiply upon the earth. All right, the inability to contain that grievous spirit within them, man. But it says back in Second Ezra 5 and 9, it says, so like in 10, it says, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found. And then shall unrighteousness and inconstancy be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no. At the
If I
same
can say
time,
this real quick, up,
mhm,
when you go into incontinency, one of those definitions was intemperate. All right, and that reminds me of First Corinthians the ninth chapter when Paul said, "With he would temperate in all things to achieve or receive that incorruptible crown," because temperate means to have self control. All right, how do you regulate what's right and what's wrong? It's by the law, statutes, and commandments. But he said that all of these things will be multiplied. The lack of self control, ultimately, that's what temperance goes into, your inability to control yourself. All right, being given over into your lust, ultimately being given over into the flesh. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Done. It says, and at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. All right. And we coming into that time and where all hope is going to be lost for these people. So like it had some pop up on my screen. All right, but we coming into the time and where, all hope is getting ready to be lost for those who have not been uh, um, storing up this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know.
Con, con. Hey, I'm gonna read this again. This is Amos 5:13. It say, therefore the prudent shall keep silent in that time. What time? In Jacob's trouble, man. It say reads, for it is an evil time. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, the power of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken. Spoken in what? In prophecies, man. Things that pertain to Jacob's trouble, man. The calamities, the atrocities, right? The famine, pestilence, the MOTB, World War III, intercontinental ballistic missiles, concentration camps. It says, seek good and not evil, that ye may live, and so the Lord, the power of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken. Hey, cause it's finna come upon a time, hey, when prudence finna hide, man. It's finna be hidden. Oh, let me get this. This is this is Ezekiel 7:26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests and counsel from the ancients. Why? Because in Ezekiel
Mm.
3, it tell you that the Lord is going to cause our tongue to cleave to the roof. She shall cause the
I got
tongue
Ezekiel 3
to
right there.
cleave to the roof of the mouth of the prophets, man. You got it. Go ahead.
That's the spirit. This is Ezekiel 3 and verse 25. It says, but thou, O
Start at
son of man,
24.
behold, they shall
Start,
put bands upon thee. All right,
con.
24. It says, the spirit entered into me and set me upon my feet and spake with me and said unto me, go shut thyself within thine house. But
Mm-hmm.
thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, they shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out with among them. And I will
Mm-hmm.
make thy tongue to cleave to the roof of thy mouth,
Hey,
that thou
Salaki, we thought this was finna happen when in 2019 in March when COVID first hit, man. We
yeah,
thought this was finna we thought this was playing out, man. Go ahead out, Salaki.
you get it. It
Yeah,
says,
if I can say this real quick, yeah, and that we got excited, and
Yeah,
that's the
yeah, we
difference.
was
Like when these things, and it may not seem like it right now, but when these things play out, everything that the Lord has prepared us for is going to show. It's going to show in that time. It's a
right.
reason why militaries they put people in these training camps and they have them watch film over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because it implants in their mind to prepare for what they see. So when they get
Mm-hmm.
scared, they're gonna automatically go to what? To what they were trained to do.
Right,
What the
right.
Lord is training us to do is to understand what's about to happen on the earth, but that at the same time, He said He will save us. It's not up to us to figure out how He's going to do it. It's just up to us to believe that He will do it. And we're being
Hey,
prepared for that. That's the moment we're being prepared for. All the
con.
dreams and the visions brothers have had, all of your imaginations of what the end will be like is all preparing you for when it actually happens. You got
Hey,
it out.
I gotta read this out since you said that. This is Judges 5:11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawn water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord Yahweh go down to the gates, rehearsing the righteous acts, man, which is what? Preparing for the battle, man.
right.
You got to record.
Hey, if I could, real quick, speaking to that point that I was making, stop worrying about the how. The how
Con,
is the beautiful part. The how is going to be a different testimony for each brother, which is going to make it even more better, you know, Lord, when we make it. You know, the how is the beautiful part because the Lord has an infinite amount of ways to save. You know, the how is the beautiful part. So stop worrying about that, man. You know, we can't control that. All right, stop worrying about the things that you cannot control. All right, it's literally stressing you out to the point of you killing yourself, man. You know, you're afflicting and killing yourself by stressing the things that you cannot control. All right, the Lord told us to keep our eyes singular, stay focused. All right, this is our job to watch and to wait. That's it. All right. The scriptures say in Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. All right. What the Lord requires of us now is to arise mentally and spiritually. The Lord will handle our physical departure when he returns. All right. Our job is just to arise mentally and spiritually and prepare for that for the meeting of the bridegroom, man. You know?
If I could say this, the example that you brought up with Peter is a beautiful example. Because when Peter got locked up, Peter wasn't worried. Peter was sitting between them two guards and he was asleep because he,
Gone.
he knew
Yep.
he didn't know how the Lord was going to do it, but he was with whatever the Lord was with. That's what the Lord's preparing us to do and to think like that, to be with whatever the Lord is with. If it's for the Lord for us to, take that last nap before we wake up into those incorruptible bodies, then we with whatever the Lord with. But trying to figure out what the Lord's gonna do with you and your journey ahead of time is just a waste of your time. And that's why the Lord gave us things that are needful for salvation, the things that were written aforetime. You got it.
Right. Yeah, it's on when y'all Akim if y'all got something. Oh
You had
yeah,
the other article, right?
John.
You had the other article, right?
Con, I can bring it up real quick.
Yeah, so I can we're in some very beautiful times right now. It's a lot to watch for. It's a lot to be privy to. All right, stay vigilant, stay sober. All right, because there's a lot happening in the earth right now. You know, and we don't want the Lord to catch us off guard. All right, the scriptures say that
Mm.
the Lord is coming as a thief in the night. All right, he's coming as a thief in the night to those who are not watching. All right, we have the signs of the break in. All right, which is the prophecies. We just don't know when he's going to break in. All right, but that's the point of watching. All right. That's the point of being sober and vigilant. All right. Always be ready so that when the Lord comes, you don't have to get ready. You know?
And if I could say this, it could always be worse. All right, the Lord woke you up. You got this understanding still in your mind through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, and you actually watching your enemies fall. Every day they falling little by little. You woke up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, and you can still call on the name of the Lord. All right. You ain't in the land of the dead. All right. You are still in the land of the living, and you're able to give glory to Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right. We're in beautiful times. All right. If we believe and we actually have faith that the Lord is going to do what he said he's going to do, then the little problems that we're going through in our life really ain't that big in comparison to what we stand to gain. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. You got it out.
Right. Hey, so this is an article from comma comma did comadiginews.com. All right, and it's entitled Patriot Militia Groups Are Scaring the Hell Out of the Enemy Within. All right, just to
Mm.
preface this, all right, right now what you have is a huge separation within America. All right, you have a huge division in America going on right now, which is why this kingdom is not going to, which is why this kingdom is not going to stand. All right, if I could get this real quick before we get into it. All right, this is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. All right, it reads, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then shall his kingdom stand? All right. And right now we see Satan divided against Satan, the right and the left. All right. You have these different Edomite militia groups. All right. You have the conservatives. All right. You have the liberals. All right. You have all this division within America, Babylon the Great, which is ultimately leading into his downfall. All right. The Lord has mixed up a very perverse spirit within Egypt, man, which is Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 19. And I'm gonna start at verse 2. All right, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right, when it says the Egyptians against the Egyptians, it's speaking about the Americans, all right, the modern day Americans, because America is modern day Egypt. All right, this is the place of bondage for the Israelites, all right, the so called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, all right, where we're made to serve with rigor all over again. All right, America is Egypt, all right, spiritual Egypt. You see, so it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." All right.
Mm.
And right now we see the spirit failing in the midst of Egypt. All right, there is no hope. There is no hope left here. All right, that's why
Mm.
these militia groups are rising up, because they don't see a hope in their government. They don't see a better future for America. That's why they're grouping together and getting ready and taking up arms to take their own justice. To perform their own enterprises. Man, there's a
Mhm.
huge division going on in America right now, and it's only going to get worse. You see, but the article, right, is entitled "Patriot Militia Groups Are Scaring the Hell Out of the Enemy Within." It says patriot militia groups in America have been forming for years. All right. And this is something that's been forming since the very inception of America. All right. America's always been divided, but even more so now. All right. This is something that's been going on for years now. All right. You've always had Edomites that haven't agreed with the rule of their brethren. All right. That's why these different militia groups are popping up. All right. And they're getting more bold now. All right. It says militia groups in America have been forming for years. In fact, those Americans who stood up against British tyranny to fight the Revolutionary War were patriot militia groups. In more recent days, groups have been emerging in response to the lawlessness and bad governance within our political system. All right.
If I could say this real quick,
Mhm.
see, the Lord so cold. The Lord set Esau up for his own downfall, and he had his own counsel set this up. Now, the way America was started was due to a revolution, the Revolutionary War. The same militias that are threatening the government today are a part of that same belief system. That if ever a government gets out of line, they have the right to overthrow their own government. Now, they use this excuse to break away from their mother, which is Britain. And now that whole council is about to come back and bite them. And that's what the Lord is doing. This is real quick, Psalms 5 and 10. Let me start at 8. It says, "Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because mine enemies make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They
Mm.
flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O power. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast
Mm.
them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee." And Esau thought that they were going to ride off in the sunset. And what the Lord is doing is He's making mockery of them. The same things, the same tactics that they use to become a nation is going to be the same tactics the Lord uses to destroy this nation. All right,
Right.
you got it, brother.
That glory shall be their shame.
Hmm.
Mhm.
This is Job chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine." All right. And right now, what we're seeing is the light of the wicked being put out. Are there different councils? All right, starting from the G7 summits, G20 summits. All right, all of the different councils that were held behind the curtains. All right, they're all being revealed, and his light is being put out through the way of the truth. All right, it says, "Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him." All right, and that
And
robber.
it's beautiful through the Spirit. If I could say this, because when you think about Esau's rulership, they were the ones who made fire come down from heaven, all right, in the sight of men. And now they're using their own policies to tell other nations that they can't have the same weapon that they actually use.
Right.
And this is why the Lord is putting the spirit on these other nations to rise up and turn their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks
Mhm.
into spears, because this is a hypocrite that's in rulership, and they're all going to say, "Have you become weak as we?" All right,
Mm.
and that's why we're in a time where the Lord is about to repay them for what they've done. All right, real quick, this is Proverbs 16 and 12. It reads, "It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for
Mm.
the throne is established by righteousness." So if the throne isn't established by righteousness, it's not going to last. And that's the time that we're coming into, where the Lord has allowed them to reign, and now the bill is due. You got it out.
Right.
You have some Nazarian?
Yeah, I got some right here. Hold on. This is this is Proverbs 26, and I'm gonna start at verse 24. It reads, "He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation."
Hey, could you read that one?
Yeah, Proverbs 26 and 24. "He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation."
Hey, and that's what Esau even dissembled with his own lips. He's dissembled his own kingdom through his own words. Or
Right,
he's essentially laid his own deathbed, man. He's made his own bed, lying, man. You
yeah,
know, he's dissembled his own kingdom within his lips, and now he's being exposed in front of the nations, man. Now
God,
everyone is to see how much of a double talker and a idiot this man truly is, man. Because if this man was smart, he wouldn't follow the blueprint of these other nations that fell
right,
before him. If this man was smart, he wouldn't rule by hatred and guile and wickedness. If he
right.
was smart, he'd follow
Hey,
the standard of the Lord.
God, hey, it's a fool. Hey, when he don't speak, he wise, man. This is Psalm 37 and 12. "The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnash upon him with his teeth. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and
Mm,
their bows shall be broken."
mm. Hey, and and ultimately that sword that's going to enter into their own heart with them ICBM nuclear missiles, man. The same
Right,
thing they created to destroy the other nations, to put fear on the other nations, is the same thing that's getting ready to destroy them, man. All right, the
right.
Lord, the Lord played this out beautifully. All right, you can go ahead and call it checkmate, man. All right, it's done for Esau. Edom. All right, he's finished. But if y'all ain't Akim ain't had nothing else, I was gonna read a little bit more of it.
Yeah, let me read one more of these. This Psalm 37:20, it reads, "But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume." And if you know about lamb, if you cook lamb, the fat that's on it, when you finish cooking, the fat be burnt away, man. It said, "But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away." You got it, God.
That's gonna be Esau glory, man.
God. You got
You
it,
heard
up.
something, Mike?
You want to keep reading the article?
Yeah, I was gonna read a little bit more if y'all ain't had nothing.
Con, you got it.
All right, reading on. It says they see too much wrong replacing what is right all over America, and they
Mm,
are ready to rise up and fight, just as
mm.
we fought for our independence against Britain and King George. They are
Wow.
rising up in the footprints of Crispus Attucks, Paul Revere, Patrick Henry, Samuel Adams, Nathan Hale, and many more. All right, they're preparing to go to their forefathers.
Ah, that's cool.
Esau's preparing to search for his forefathers. They get in that old Edomite spirit again, man. All right,
Man, yeah, hey, yeah, that brother. Oh, that's why you read Isaiah 19, brother against brother.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, con. That's cold. Wow.
Hey, real quick, and if I could say this,
They
when
are
you look up
Washington, right?
real quick, when you look up Crispus Attucks, this is a Jake. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because you're gonna have Jakes involved in this as well. You're gonna have Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who also are gonna get involved in this conflict because they're gonna believe that
Them
they're fighting for their country. This
right.
is a
Them that are
Jake.
joined unto them shall fall by the
Yep.
sword. Right.
There's a Jake. And you're gonna have Jakes like this hop on the bandwagon thinking that they fighting for a country that don't belong to them.
Cause they trust
You
in
got it off.
oppression. Cause they trust in oppression. hmm Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It says, hey, just that goes to show you too, man. History repeats itself, man. There's nothing new under the sun.
hmm
Jake is always
hmm
joining to these devils, thinking that it's going to be for their betterment. But
Yeah.
it says, uh, they see people escaping justice in our court and prison system. They see our leaders in both government and the military ignoring the Constitution and its amendments, despising their oath to protect them. All right. It says these patriot militia groups do not seek chaos or organize to break laws or hurt communities. Those are the roles of the mostly peaceful protesters who have been laying siege to Portland, Seattle, and Minneapolis, dozens arrested, so on and so forth. It says these patriots see our constitutional republic being violated. Those of us who love this country and have been sworn into public office know the significance of taking the oath, an oath where you swear to defend the Constitution of the United States. All right, and what good is an oath that Esau Edom has ever made, man? What oath has Esau Edom ever kept? That's why it says this in the book of Psalms, the 58th chapter. All right, excuse me, real quick. This is Psalms 58, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their
hmm
poison is as the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as the waters which run continually when he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows. Let them be as cut in pieces, man. All right, and the Lord is getting ready to break the teeth of these wicked ass hypocrites, man. All right, there is no oath, there's no treaty, there's no agreement that Esau Edom has ever withstood, that he's ever adhered to, man. All right, he's broken every single one. Case in point, Gad and Reuben, man, the so-called Native American Indians. All the treaties and all the peace agreements that he made with them, broke them all, man. All right, so when you go to the so-called Negroes, Esau promised the so-called Negroes 40 acres and a mule. That promise, where's that promise? Null and void, man. They didn't keep that promise at all either, man. All right, Esau Edom has never been a man of his word. But reading on, it says, those of us who love this country and have been sworn into public office know the significance of taking the oath, an oath where you swear to defend the Constitution of the United States and or possibly that of the state where you reside. An individually elected or appointed to office of honor or profit in the civil service or uniformed services shall take the following oath. And you read that oath, it's full of BS. All right, it says, most of us mean the oaths we take. Most of us take it as a lifelong commitment, not like unlike our marriage vows, recognizing that we have been given to opportunity to become more than we are. Last year, When the protests over the death of George Floyd began in early June, a group of people who were neither demonstrators nor law enforcement officers began to appear in the streets. As the Antifa and BLM groups began destroying America, patriot militia members who want to keep America intact as it has always been, the constitutional republic of laws and order, the constitutional republic was hard won by revolutionary patriot militias. All right, and as we see, the division arising within America. All right, we see a lot of um, manufactured opposition. You know, you do have a lot of these Edomites that do stand for the greater good of America. You know, they really want to see America be great again. But amongst that, you have these different setup. You have these different setup oppositions, man. All right, that are set up to look like they're pushing the same cause, but really they're set in place to create chaos. You know, which is what Esau Edom is famous for. All right, that's why he has the famous quote, "Order of chaos." All right, because he's famous for creating chaos. All right, and bringing the order. You know, but that's all we had to say. Y'all got it.
Kai, you got any closing precepts?
Um,
No, I don't got none.
You know what? Require
I'll
touch
give it.
that Isaiah 19 one more time.
Mm.
All right, it's Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 3, 2. So like it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, which is
Hey,
also
so if I could say this real quick, this is a beautiful article because what the Lord is doing, ultimately, this is from the Heavenly Father. All right, the Lord said the deceived and the deceiver are his, and we use that as an example for those of the circumcision who are speaking things that they ought not. But it also applies to Esau. You know, Esau believed that he was just so smart that he got on top, and
Hmm.
that's not the case. And that's why the Lord's going to use His own counsel to cast him down, and He's going to use His own people to do it. He's going to use the other nations to do it. He's going to use the chariots to do it, and He's going to make an example out of those who would dare to live ungodly, with all the examples the Lord has shown throughout history of what happens when you try to go against the grain. All right. And ultimately, the Lord's going to use this. All right. In the same way Babylon the Great started, thus with violence shall that great city be cast down. All right. And the same way that they started with rebellion and revolution is going to be used against them. You know, Esau has that saying, anything you say can and will be used against you. Well, the Lord applies that as well. All right. That's why it says, every idle word man shall speak, they shall make an account thereof. And Esau has spoken great words against the Heavenly Father, man. And the Lord's about to make him pay that bill, so to speak. You got it out.
hey, and which is all this is leading up into the prophecies of sedition. All right,
Mm.
it says verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Yeah, because the council is cast down. You look at CNN, just watch CNN and Fox News. Just watch it for 10 minutes and tell me if they got counsel, if they know what's going on for real. The Lord is snatching wisdom from Teman. He's
Hmm.
snatching wisdom from Esau. This ain't no accident. They ain't pretending. Their elites is doing who knows what to try to keep this king going, to keep this kingdom moving. Ultimately, the Lord is just removing that counsel and that confidence from these people, man. Because ultimately, power comes from the heavens. Like Yahweh Shah told Pilate, you can only do what's given to you. All right, power coming from heaven. All right, you got it out.
Hey, I got a few precepts. I just stirred up I got a couple precepts, man. This is Isaiah 29 and 14. It reads, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among his people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise man shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. This is First Corinthians
Yeah, the,
1 and 19. Go ahead.
the wise men. different economic advisors, these different financial advisors, all right, the different these different forecasters that you have as far as America Babylon the Great is concerned. All right, they're falling. All right, they see no hope. The windows are being darkened, pursuing Ecclesiastes the 12th chapter. All
Right.
right.
So this is
Hey, you
1
gotta ask
Corinthians 1 and
yourself.
9.
You gotta ask yourself. All of these councils, all these G7 summits, they got a whole NATO. They got a whole EU. They got the Council of Foreign Relations. They got all these different councils, and they ain't see this coming. They
Right.
couldn't see this coming in the horizon. They couldn't predict that this was gonna happen. That's the Lord.
Good.
You
Good.
got it out.
1 Corinthians 1:19 reads, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent," which I just read in Isaiah 29:14. So y'all had sent you mentioned this about them boasting against Yahweh Shema Shah. This is Ezekiel 35:10, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Right? So the Lord say this devil has boasted against him, first and foremost, and then the apple of his eye. This is Revelation 13:5.
Hey,
It
real
reads,
quick, if I could say this, I just think about all them little conversations these Edomites done had by the fireplace with the
right,
whiskey, with the
right.
pinky up while they sipping
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They bourbon and
off the
scotch. You come,
shit about
come.
Jake and about the Lord, and the Lord say, "I heard you, bro. Like
Right,
y'all, while y'all was sitting by the fire petting the dog, talking shit, I was listening
right,
too,
right,
and it's
right.
payback time. That's what's up."
Come. This Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So Ezekiel 35, the Lord said, man, hey, you have boasted, you've been blaspheming, man. I heard all these things, man. Right? Hey, what was it? Was it Psalm, is that Psalm 71, Psalm 74? Salakia. Let me see. Um, Man, is it hold on, Salakia. Bear with me for a moment. This is Psalms. Man, hold on. I gotta get this. What's the damn it? Is it 94? When he said
What you looking for?
him that
What you looking for?
him that formed the ill, shall he not heal?
Oh,
Let me put it up. I got it highlighted too.
it's Psalms 94:9.
Con. Right. This is Psalms 94, and it reads, I'm gonna start at verse 3. It say, Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? If they break in pieces the people, O Yahweh, and afflict thy inheritance, they slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chasteneth the heathen, shall not he correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? I just want to read that, man.
Hey, if I can say this, hey, the Lord said, hold up, the Lord said, understand ye brutish among the people,
Right.
and ye fools. Like
You gotta
Mr. T
put
said, I pity the fool. You know,
right.
these Edomites really set up there. They built institutions saying there ain't no power, ain't no God that created the heavens and earth. This was an accident. Everybody came from apes. You know, they the number one nation on the planet. They the smartest. They the best looking. And you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans belong in chains. And they just been able to speak these great words for so long that they actually believe the lies that they've told themselves. And now we're
Come.
coming into the time where the Lord is about to show the whole world what's really going on, man. And it's a beautiful thing that we're witnessing right now through the Spirit. You got it out.
Hey, this is the word Brutus.
Strong's H 1197. Ba'ad.
Ba'ar.
Ba'ad.
It said to burn, consume, kindle, be kindled. To begin to burn, be kindled, stop burning. To burn, consume. It said Yahweh's wrath. To
And
consume,
what
remove.
Jake say? What Jake say in the world? Burnt out.
Right,
He burnt.
right.
That's all of these doctrines. All these doctrines is burnt. They burnt out. But because Esau was on top, everybody just shook their head because he's the rich man in the room. So everybody, even though it didn't sound right, everybody was just going along with the get along. But now the Lord's about to make Esau bare, and that's what we're about to witness.
It's a denominative verb. It's a to be stupid, brutish, barbarous, to be stupid, dull, hard, unreceptive. Yeah, burn up, heated. Yeah, wasted. It said wasted. As Joshua.
Hey,
Wasted away as he.
if I could get this real quick, this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, which having
God.
taken his hide, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" And that was the beginning of Esau Edom's stupidity, man.
Right,
Being lifted in
right.
pride, thinking that he was anything above a natural brute beast.
Brutish beast. Yeah.
Yeah, Esau think he Ethan Hawke for real. He think he really about to win the Mission Impossible.
Them
Man, look,
violent
this is
than the
about to be
earth.
an upset, man. The Lord has set
Oh,
Esau up to fall of like it says in Psalm 73, he's been set by slippery places. Unbeknownst to him, he think that he really got it, but through the Spirit, the Lord is leading him to destruction to make an example out of him.
let me get this
So
one
you
more right
got
here. This is
Con.
so like this is Job 20 and 22. It reads, it say, in the fullness of his sufficiency, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. Power shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yet a glittering sword cometh out of his galls. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him.
Yo, it's a complete wrap for our enemies, man. The Lord has this. This is cool, man. It says,
God,
it says, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It
right.
shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The
God.
heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Man, the earth shall rise up against him.
Hey, and the heaven is revealing his iniquity, man, through the unicorn, man.
Con,
Hey, what 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8? The Lord said that by the Spirit of the Lord mouth shall he be consumed. Yeah.
hey, this is 14, DMS Sin City, Las Vegas. Shalom. It says,
Shalom. How about Shema Shabrakatah?
How about Shimon Shabrakatah? It says,
Yeah.
they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? All right,
Right.
that's what I'm looking at Esau at right now. Like, is this the guy that made us tremble at one point in time? Is this the guy that made fire come from heaven? You know that did shake kingdom?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they're gonna
that's
look
him.
at Esau. They're gonna look at Esau and they're gonna think, this ain't James Bond, is it?
Right.
Is this
Right.
Ethan Hawke? They got
Double O
Ethan Hawke
seven.
naked in. They got Ethan Hawke in a cage.
But
How
you
that
what
happen?
Clinty Wood say, go ahead, make my day. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh man, this is beautiful, man. The Lord
Con.
is making
Con.
mockery of Esau, Edom, man,
For real.
and that's why I
Right.
say it's a joy to see the fall of your enemies, man. You know,
Oh
for them to
man.
see because they saw our shame. You know, they saw when we fell.
Let me get
You
that
know,
out.
they looked at us. They make movies making mockery of us. All we is project babies and all. All right, have your fun, enjoy yourself, because the tables are gonna turn, and we're gonna have a good old time looking narrowly looking upon you, us and other
Con.
nations.
Hey,
You
I
got
got
it,
one
up.
more, right? It's like I got one. This is on Psalm 59 and 7. Behold, they belch out with their mouth, swords are in their lips. For who say they, doeth here? But thou, O Yahweh, shall laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision.
Mm.
You got it out.
And right now, the Lord, his mouthpiece, which is the prophets. Uh,
Right,
we through the spirit, man, we laughing at what's going on because the
right,
Lord is tearing down our enemies right before our eyes. This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 25 and verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy.
hmm
10 I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And right now we're living to see the fall of our chiefest enemy, man.
Right,
The
right,
so-called man, along with our other enemies, man. All right, we're living to see the downfall of our enemies, which is a happy thing according to the scriptures. You know, the Lord is preparing a table for us right in the midst of our enemies. All
right,
right amongst their ranks, we're being raised up while they're being torn down.
right. He's setting them in, or he reproving them and setting us in order before their eyes.
Time.
Hey, if I could say this real quick through the spirit, hey, they laughed and they enjoyed us. You know, when we had to fall, when we had to go
Right.
into captivity for our iniquity, they laughed. They had a good time. They
hmm
spent millions of dollars putting us on TV screens, making fun of us.
hmm
All we is junkies and athletes and dummies. All right, well, the tables are about to turn. All right, and this is the time that we've waited for. In Baruch, the 4th chapter, it said, miserable are the cities where thy children were made to serve. All right.
Right.
You want to see some entertainment? Watch Fox News and CNN. And watch all them Edomites sweating in their suits trying to lie to the people. We know what's going on through the spirit, man. But the Lord is taking away all of the pride and the counsel from Esau Edom, man, before he physically starts to touch them. You got it up.
This Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And that's why they got uh the opioid crisis, the epidemic, the opioid epidemic, the suicide epidemic. They die fast and they can be born, right?
Homelessness.
Right. These things going on. Why? Because the curse is on them now, man. Suicide rate, ODing, dying faster than they can be born, right? And opioids crisis, man. That's some curses that the Lord got on these devils, man. And we watching it play out, man.
And if I could say this real quick, the worst thing to do is to watch your nation lose power.
Right.
Like we ain't had power in so long, we don't even know how it feel to lose it.
Right.
That's the beauty of what the Lord did to us.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's why we don't
It's
got
only
nothing to
up from
lose,
here.
man.
We don't got nothing to lose. It's only up from here.
Everything the
We done
game.
took, man, our people think that what we doing right now is winning. They think jobs and apartments is a W. That's how far we done fell. But it's
Right.
worse for a nation that been on top for a long time, and now they got to come down. That's the misery that you're starting to see on the faces of these Edomites.
Right. This is Psalms 58 and 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. They got one more. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 68 and verse Psalm 68 and verse 22. It say, the Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan, I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea, that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies, and the tongue of the dogs in the same. Hey man, waiting patiently, man. It said that thy foot may be what? Let's read that again. Psalm 68 and 23, it say that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thine enemies. That's all 17 heathen nations, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same. Man. Matter of fact, let me read 21. Psalm 68 and 21. It say, but power, Yahweh Shema Shah, shall wound the head of his enemies and the hairy scalp of such and one as goeth on still in his trespasses, which is two-thirds of Jake. The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan, I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea. Well, scattered amongst the people, that thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same.
Hey, it said he will wound the head.
Right.
Hey, you
That's their prophecy.
hey, that's what's happening right now, man. All right,
Right.
the heads of both people, the heads of Edom and the heads of Jake are being wounded, man. You know, and the
And when
truth
you
is
go,
starting to bear.
go Salaki.
You good, you good.
Now I was thinking about in Romans 12, I think it is it's a precept to Revelation, I mean Genesis 3, and when it said that he will put enmity between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head and he shall bruise thy heel. It's a precept to that in Romans, and it's talking about Yahushua bruising the head of Satan.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's a precept, yeah. In the precept, it's I got it right here. I
Okay.
got it. Read Genesis 3 for me real quick.
You want me to
Genesis 3 and 15.
3 and 15?
Yeah,
It says, and the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever no, that's 4. 3 and 15 it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman,
right,
and between thy seed and her seed,
right,
and I bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
right. So
Un-
this is the precept. When you look it up, it say Revelation 16 and 20. I mean Romans 16 and 20. And the power of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Yahweh Mashiach be with you. It's a, and the power of peace, which is Yahweh shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly.
Mm.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey, and
cause
if I
he
can say
hey,
this,
And
come
the
on, you
heel,
got it out. You got it.
like
hey, cause right now it sounds like words, but these things are gonna be performed, man. The
Right,
King of Kings is coming back. That's a reality. All right, that ain't just words. The King of Kings is coming back in all glory. It ain't just gonna be your new president of the United States or a new president of Russia. We talking about a power, an angelic force that's not gonna meet the world as a man. That's gonna happen. All right, and the world ain't
right.
prepared for that. But Lord willing, we're part of that number. We're gonna see the Son of
Lord
Man
willing,
coming in
man.
great glory and power and glory, man. That's the
Lord
time that we're
willing.
coming into. Everything that we seeing right now that's playing out on the earth it moves us one step closer to that moment, man. You got it out. You had anything else?
No, I don't got. You got something to call you?
No, that was it for me.
You can get your closer.
All right.
Yep.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It reads, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown."
And so with
Which
that, we
is
want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakwadash.
B'Kakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Aqua, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. War, Bob. The
Bible
water
Ball.
tuning in. May you help by Shema Shah. Continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. The water for the precepts. Shalom.